Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of The Unprofessional Entrepreneur. As always, I'm giving everything away with no fucks given. This week, we are going to talk about my three main streams of income because I get asked a lot of questions about this. And yeah, I have nothing to hide. I'm such an open book. I have no shame in sharing anything really. So I thought this could be a good episode for all of you, especially after I gave my 2023 year review in numbers when I brought for the first episode of season 3, because this is gonna share more about my numbers. I think this also has to play in with why my profit increased so much this year, because I have changed so much about where my money is coming from, even if I made less money. Without further ado, let's get into it. My first and the main moneymaker of my business is my agency. So I have Felly Day Studio, which is a content repurposing agency. Fun fact, I am going to be re-recording my second episode ever recorded, which was what is a content repurposing agency, because so much has changed since I think it was November 2022 when I recorded that. Like, my whole business has changed since I recorded that episode. Anyways, so the studio, my main moneymaker, we have 2 offers. That is the remix, where you send us 10 links to your existing content and we send you 100 custom content ideas for you to then go create or hand to your team. And our second offer is a done for you content repurposing offer. So you send us content that you want repurposed and we spend 10 hours repurposing each month. The remix is currently $347. It's a one-time purchase. You can do a 2-week payment plan in 2 parts. I am 99% going to be raising that to $500 for what's the things we do? Q2 for Q2. Just because I think I've mastered it and I've now done over 10 and it needs price rise. So it will still be incredibly worth it. 100 custom content ideas with prompt, organized by content type, offer, intention. It is such a great offer. I've never had a single complaint or even negative feedback. Everyone loves it. So I'm raising the price. Anyways, the done for you offer is $1,000 a month with a 3-month minimum commitment. So you need to have 3,000 basically to start that one. You can pay monthly, you can pay all at once. That's your choice. But that is the agency and that is my main money maker. If you are curious about the team that helps me run these 2 offers, you can go back to the episode 72 to learn about my team, my agency structure, my team structure. Next up, I have been working for Right Hand Glam, which is another agency. It is a done-for-you engagement agency run by my friend Emma. I started working for Right Hand Glam in February 2023 when I was just mentally fucked. And in the process of moving from Mexico to Canada to France, and my grandma died and my partner's sister died and life was just absolute mess. And I was like, I have nothing to give to my business, but I still need money. So that's a godsend. The way that Emma's business is structured for Done For You is that clients get 2.5 hours per week of work. We go into their accounts and we engage on their behalf. Depending on what they're doing, there's different strategies in place. But for the most part, I do my clients Monday to Thursday. So I do 37.5 minutes per client, 4 days a week. And I generally have 3 to 4 clients, sometimes 5, but 5 is really my max. I get mentally burnt out because you're just jumping back and forth from different people's thoughts, different people's offers, different people's audiences. It's a mental gymnastics, but I do really enjoy it and it has taught me a lot. And I am going to make another episode where I give you some secrets I've learned as a done for you engagement strategist, because it is such a powerful part of building a business, being active in your DMs, being engaging back with your audience and building relationships that way. So that's an episode that you will be having soon, most likely next week. Monday through Thursday, I spend 2 hours a day working on those accounts, and then the rest of the days are mine. Sometimes I literally do nothing except the engagement. Sometimes my mornings are full and then I get into the engagement. Totally depends, but it works really well for me, and it's a nice steady income that I get to take home with no questions asked. And the third way that I make money, and the one that's probably the most shocking to everyone, is through Fiverr. I started using Fiverr, I want to say end of 2021. I got really curious about freelance platforms because they had such a bad connotation. And I originally was looking into Upwork. I took a masterclass on Upwork, but I hated having to constantly be on it and applying for the jobs, because if you're not like one of the first people to apply, chances of getting the job are really low. And then I stumbled across this girl, what's her name? Alex something. She's the freelance fairy. Yeah, the freelance fairy. And she had this really great Facebook group for Fiverr. All these people talking about Fiverr. Her whole YouTube had all these different videos, setting up a Fiverr profile, looking for setting up different job types, different things to do to tweak your job, your gigs, so that you could rank better. And I really like Fiverr because I don't have to do anything. People just come to me. People message me and ask me if I'm available. People can book orders. People can, ask questions about my orders. It's been really, really eye-opening, really. I know they do take 20% of your earned income. It's not ideal in the long run, but as it's like a side gig for me, I'm not bothered. And I have gotten to the place where I charge high enough that like the 20% is factored in. So what I do on Fiverr though is the most interesting, and that is that I do beta reading. Beta reading is when an author has written a book, they've already they should have gone through an either alpha reading process or an editor. So it's like the book has been edited, and they hire a beta reader to get feedback on plots, on characters, on consistency, on pacing, on romance. I beta read specifically for erotica, for romance, paranormal fantasies, romanticides, right? So I do comment a lot on like romance. Was there tension? Was it hot? Was it believable? Was it realistic? I've literally had scenes where I'm like, I physically don't think that's possible the way you described it. Like, takes you out of the scene, um, but so beta reading has been something that I started, I want to say like probably mid 2022. And the thing with Fiverr is it can take time for your profile to build up. It can take time for you to rank, especially when it comes to like getting ratings and everything so that you rank higher in their algorithm. So I was probably getting maybe like 1 to 2 orders a quarter when I started my Fiverr account. And I started with blogs, actually. I was doing blogs, which I hated. And and then I started beta reading because somebody actually posted in a group saying like, I keep getting asked to read erotica and like I'm really uncomfortable with that. Like, what do I say to people to deter them from like asking me for this or hiring me for this? And I was like, hold up, wait. You're getting paid to read erotica? I need to know more. And so like I fell down the rabbit hole of like, what is beta reading? I started looking through people's beta reading profiles on Fiverr, and then I made my own, and it spiraled from there. But so I have 3 beta reading gigs. I have a general one, which honestly I should take down because I don't like when people book me for like random types of books. I have a romance and erotica gig, and I have a paranormal and fantasy gig. And my romance and erotica gig is my most popular. I think I've gotten like probably over 50 orders on that gig, and I rank pretty high in the algorithm. I'm pretty sure I'm like on the front page if you look up erotica on Fiverr. Beta reading erotica, not just erotica. And I actually started paranormal and fantasy because I saw that like nobody had that niche as their they're gigs. Like I could make more gigs for different keywords and like change things around, but I'm quite happy with where I'm at. I would say I generally get like 3 to 5 orders a month to read different books of different lengths. My income probably varies from like $300 to $1,000 a month off of Fiverr. So it's worth it for me. Like even with the 20%, I am perfectly happy to get paid to read because I am someone who has a problem when it comes to reading, and I'm actually in a bit of a slump right now because I started reading for pleasure again. And that is that I get addicted to reading and I can't put the book down until I finish it. And so then I don't sleep, I can't get my mind out of the story, and I can't concentrate on anything. So I'm honestly gonna have to quit cold turkey again, besides paid books. Um, but yeah, so getting paid to read let me read again without falling into my toxic cycle of binge reading a book a day and like not having a functioning life outside of reading. And I get to read books that I actually like. Like, I have read some really good books. I actually sent someone the other day, she was like, "Have you read anything that's been published?" And like, I don't always know what the books are going to be published under because sometimes they're like working titles. People's Fiverr handles aren't necessarily their actual name, so I don't know what their author title is. But yeah, I've read some really good books. I've read some really, really bad books. It's the same as working as an engagement strategist. I'll get into this in the other episode where I actually talk about my time in that role. But like I have worked in some accounts that like making money is so easy. It's just a matter of having conversations. And I've had other accounts where it's like pulling teeth trying to have conversations. And we'll get into that over there. But like not all jobs are created equal, even if it's the same job. Let's just say that. But I'm curious if you found this interesting. I'm curious if you enjoyed learning about this. If you're like, nah, I won't make more episodes like this. Like I've noticed in the past from podcast analytics, from comments, from feedback from all of you that you do like case study episodes the best, where I'm kind of giving you like step by step, here's what happened, here's where we're at. So I'm trying to find different versions of case studies I can share, or different parts of my life that I can let you in on. Let me know if you want a wedding update episode. That would be so funny. But yeah, that's where we're at. That's my main 3 streams of income. I do have like one-on-one and some passive offers that I sell, but these are like the 3 things that I'm like getting it paid every single month without fail. But that's where I'm gonna love you and leave you. I am hungry and need to go make lunch. So I will see you all next week on another episode of The Unprofessional Entrepreneur. And as always, don't forget to stay unprofessional.